Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, text 16. This is a very often quoted verse. It's quoted many times by the preachers. Abrahma bhuvanalloka punar avartino arjuna mam upaitya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So we always think, right now I'm suffering. But if I just change my position, maybe I'll go to a higher planet, then I won't suffer. Maybe if I become Lord Brahma, I won't suffer. Or maybe if I become Lord Indra, I won't suffer. Maybe I'm going to enjoy them much more. There's higher facilities for enjoyment. Yeah, it's true. There is higher facility for enjoyment. But they are also places of misery. Why? Because over there also birth and death takes place. There might not be so much old age and disease, but there is death. There is misery. So many times, there are so many pastimes where Indra, gets, the demons come, like Hiranyakashipu came and he threw Indra out of his kingdom. That Indra had to go in hiding, Even Bali Maharaj also took over the kingdom of Indra. So the demigods also, even in the heavenly planets, there is envy, their position is not secure. So Krishna is saying here that from the highest planet, means from Brahma Loka, Brahma Bhuvana Loka, from Satyalok, the Brahma Lok, which is there in this material world, is the highest planet. We see even on this earth, there are different degrees of enjoyment. We can see like how with the differences in the distribution of wealth, the scenery might change. As the more wealth you have, the more you may be able to have more opulent life. Even in this planet, we can see. So the maximum enjoyment is in Brahmaloka. But even that is being called as a place of misery by Krishna, because it's still in the material world. It's not a Vaikuntha planet. Over there also, repeated birth and death take place. And then he's telling Arjuna, but one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So even if we go up to Brahmaloka, we have to be born again, we have to die again. And then our position there is not secure. How long can we live there for? Maybe a few trillion years. But again, we will come to the Earth planet or go to another hellish planet or go in the body of an animal. So the position is temporary, not secure. But once we reach Krishna's abode, once we reach the Vaikuntha planets, we never take birth again. All kinds of yogis, karma, gyan, hatha, etc., eventually have to attain devotional perfection in bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness before they can go to Krishna's transcendental abode and never return. So if we want to go to the spiritual world, we have to come to bhakti yoga. We have to become a devotee of Krishna. We have to surrender to Krishna. For example, if I want to come to your house, I have to call you. I have to acknowledge you exist. I can't just come inside your house, you're going to throw me out. You'll call the police on me. If I disregard you and I try to break into your house, I won't be able to. But if I speak to you nicely, I say, hey, can I come over? You'll say, for sure, come. Similarly, same. We have to acknowledge Krishna. We have to come to the point of becoming a devotee of Krishna before we can go to his abode. Those who attain the highest material planets, the planets of the demigods, are again subjected to repeated birth and death. As persons on earth are elevated to higher planets, people on higher planets such as Brahmalok, Chandralok, and Indralok fall down to earth. The famous story of Indra. Hey, he's Indra. He gets cursed. Then he has to be born as a pig. He's Lord Indra, you know. He lives in a palace. He has beautiful women with him, so much enjoyment. But even his position is not secure. He got cursed and he became a pig. So we can see, no matter where we go, the position is not secure in the material world. The practice of sacrifice called Panchagni Vidya, recommended in the Chandogya Upanishad, enables one to achieve Brahmalok. But if on Brahmalok one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then he must return to earth. So even if we reach up to Brahmalok, if we do not take up devotional service, we do not take up hearing and chanting about Krishna, then we will have to come back to the earthly planet. Once the time is finished, once our money is finished for enjoyment, we come back home. Again, have to start work. Or I have to get to work. Why? My money finished. My holiday is over. Similarly, may reach up to Brahmalok, but did not cultivate Krishna consciousness, or again go back to earth. Those who progress in Krishna consciousness on the higher planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets, and at the time of universal devastation are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. So if one gradually elevates his Krishna consciousness, then he is given residence in higher and higher planets. And in the higher planets, he's continuing to cultivate his Krishna consciousness. Then when Brahmaji dies, the universe is devastated. Then when Brahmaji, if he is a devotee and the other inhabitants have also cultivated their Krishna consciousness, then when Brahmaji dies, then he and all the other people living on Brahmalok, they go to the spiritual world, eternal spiritual kingdom. The spiritual world is eternal. There is no birth and death over there. We do not take up another material body there. Over there, we are in our true position. We are spirit souls. We have a spiritual identity. So in the spiritual world, we are situated in our spiritual identity, our original identity. Baladev Vidyabhushan in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita quotes this verse. Baladev Vidyabhushan, he's one of the Vaishnava Acharyas. He has written commentary on Bhagavad Gita. He's also written the Govinda Bhashya, because there was a time where in Jaipur he was called and he was asked to write the commentary. He was told that, where is the Vaishnav commentary? Where is your Vaishnav commentary on the Vedanta Sutra? And he was given like for 2 days or something to write it. And he went to Govindaji. That's the deity in Jaipur. And he told him, how can I write it? Govinda told him, don't worry, I will speak you right. That's why it's called Govinda Bhasya. It's spoken by Lord Govinda. So Baladev Vidyabhushan, he says, Brahmana sahate sarve samprapte pratish sanchare parasyante kritatmanaha pravishanti parampadam. When there is devastation of this material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are all transferred to the spiritual universe and to specific spiritual planets according to their desires. So when Brahma is a pure devotee and the other inhabitants have also cultivated their Krishna consciousness, when this entire universe is devastated, they all go to the spiritual world. But we should desire to go directly to the spiritual world. We should not desire, oh, let me go to Brahmalok, stay there, enjoy there first, and then go to the spiritual world. We should desire that after I give up this body, let me go directly to the spiritual world. And we should work in that mood. If we can dedicate this life to Krishna, as Prabhupada would say, then at the end of this life, Krishna will bring us back to the spiritual world to be with him. No need to take another body in this material world. Because Krishna says that Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamopetya tu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Krishna says that all the planets in this material world, be they lower planets, middle planets, or higher planets, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. It's not that birth and death is taking place only on this earth planet. No, even on the higher planets is taking, even on the lower planets in the material world. But one who reaches Vaikuntha Lok, any one of the planets in the Vaikuntha Lok, never comes again to this material birth, to this material world. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything?
No, but then you're right that they don't come. And I heard in one of the lectures that a lot of people have the question, then why Jay and Vijay came? They were the doorkeepers. So why they came from there? Why did they come back? But that was just because it was Krishna's Leela. But otherwise, none of the devotees fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we
Yes,
have
that's
those
right.
kind of questions sometimes that Krishna always says that nobody falls down, but then why his devotees are falling down? But that's his Leela, because
That's right.
otherwise then nothing would have happened.
Yes,
If
that's right.
Jay,
Krishna had a desire to fight, and they were agreeing to be the instruments of his pleasure to fight with him. So they came because nobody else can fight with Krishna except his devotees.
yeah,
So they are assisting in the Leelas, as you rightly said. Nobody is going to come back from the spiritual world. That's Krishna's guarantee, and we should take up that guarantee. You know, when we have an insurance policy, we are always claiming the insurance, right? If there is anything, or if there's a guarantee that we have. So Krishna is giving a guarantee. We should just have to accept it. Have faith in Krishna. We have so much faith in so many material things. You know, we need to have faith in Krishna. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare